The rhinoceros's hypothesis was preposterous. Preposterous. All right, we sound good. Buckle up. This one goes, people are broke. Most have no money. Well, this should be fun.
So let's talk about the state of the economy, but not the stock market. Let's talk about down in the regular streets, regular people. So a lot of people like to equivalent an economy to the stock market. About half of the people in this country don't even own stocks. A lot of people don't have 401ks. So the poorest people aren't even invested.
Real quick, I just want to say he added that kind of like that music. Really kind of add that extra little tearjerker stuff. But here's something that's crazy before we get deep. I'm in my mid-30s. I know I'm wearing a tank top. I'm in South Florida. It's very hot right now. Bear with me. I'm not even wearing underwear. In this economy, that's just hot. But I'm in my mid-30s, and I can't tell you how many people I know, 38, 37, 40, $5,000 to their name. No nothing. No 401k, not a thing. And it actually is kind of, it's kind of nuts if you really, really think about it. And a lot of them love to give me advice. Anyways, so he's not tripping on that.
So let's just talk about regular people, regular life, minus the stock market. As of a year ago, so this is early, mid 2024, some statistics came out that were pretty interesting.
And when I say no 401k, I also mean no Roth IRA, no retirement plans of any sort. I don't have a 401k, but I have like 2 other retirement accounts. Money over here, money over there. Okay. That's what I mean by that. All right.
So after about 4 years or so of inflation, and to kind of jump ahead here, to go back, I remember back when COVID happened, I told people when they were announcing these $1,200 checks and they were going to send people home and pay them extra money to sit at home. And, it was just crazy. They started printing trillions of dollars. And I told everybody, I said, I really hope you enjoy that $1,200 check, because you will spend more than that in the next few years by far through inflation. Now, everybody you talk to, their rent on their apartment is at least 50% more. A lot of homes are double the price. Most of the food you have is double the price.
It's literally absurd. Absurd. You know what else was crazy? They were giving people like tell me if I'm tripping. I didn't get any money for the stimulus stuff. I did get a $1,200 check, but I didn't get like a weekly income of that unemployment. I think it was like $800 a week. Dude, you know how many people didn't even make $800 a week? They got paid more than they've ever made to stay home. And a lot of them got it in lump sums because they didn't get it for like 2 months. All of a sudden they just get a check, $7,000. They never even had $7,000. Good for them. At least it gave them a taste. That's a big thing in life. Just knowing that you can. Like a lot of people will be like, man, $10,000, that's so much money. Or like $50,000, that's so much money. But once you have $10,000, you realize it's not. And then you're like, oh, I could do that again. So maybe it's a good thing in the long run. No, it's all fucked. Never mind. Anyways, back to the depressing music guy.
Most things you go do are double the price. I don't care about the inflation numbers given you by the government. They're always manipulated. They always try to withhold things, whether it's energy, or they always try to withhold certain things back. Everything's gone up. So where does that put the average person? Because the average person isn't making double the paycheck. So
No.
as of last year, 2024, the savings rate, the amount of money that people saved, there's charts for all this. The chart, people used to save, a certain amount of money. Well, after COVID, after 2020, 2021, that started just going down. So basically, that's just how much money you actually put away every payday into savings. So that number started heading, and it got pretty much towards zero.
Here's something, too, that I will say. I think it's been the same thing for a long time, where people either plan and save or they fucking don't. That's never changed. But the problem is it's made it harder for the people who actually have that discipline. Um, and then even if you were down here and you've never done any of that, and then all of a sudden you go, you know what? I want to join these people. Well, now you gotta, oh, buddy. To be fair, though, that's kind of always been a thing. Like, way before COVID. There's always been. My favorite is when people go, dude, it's only money. Money isn't everything, which I do agree with. But generally, those people who tell me that are either 70 years old or they're 30 and they've never had more than $5,000 to their name. They're either broke or they're at the end of their life and they're about to clock out for good. I always thought that was funny, though. I don't know if that happens to you, but every time I hear that, money's not that important, dude. Always the brokest person, or they're on their way out. Just saying, just something to say. That's always been around since the dawn of time, because I know all. I'm just kidding.
So what does that mean? That means people are broke. They need to spend everything they make. The amount of money in savings accounts. If you look at that graph, it did the exact same. It did the same pattern. That money started dwindling, and there was some kind of a metric that came out that said people were spending somewhere around $300-400 a month from their savings accounts, the average family, just to pay bills over the last 4 years. So inflation has just destroyed everything, to where any wealth people had built up, any savings, it just got depleted to nothing. Then in 2024, another statistic came out, said 66% of Americans, for those that don't understand math very well, that's exactly 2 out of 3 people. So 2 out of 3 people, right? 2 out of 3 people do not have $500 in cash.
No. Hold on, real quick, before we keep going. I gotta look this up. What's the average savings of, like, let's just say a 35-year-old? Let's just say 35. Let's do the average here. Let me see. I can't spell for a shot. Let's see. The average savings of a 35-year-old in America is around $28,000. This includes saving accounts, checking accounts, and retirement accounts. Yeah, so way off base. So they've been working, well, I guess if you work for another 30 years, you might be able to get $75,000. But you got to think about this real quick. That's the average. So that's the median. That's the trippy part. That's the median, dude. No. So that means half of the people have about triple that, double that. The other half have literally zero. There's no more middle. Not to mention, that's a pretty, 35, 30 grand, that's pretty low, dude. Like, that's real low. How low can you go? Can you bring it down low? All right, my bad. That's crazy, though.
Now, that's not talking about equity in homes or anything. The people with equity in their homes probably do have the $500 in cash. Those are your boomers, the people over 40, 50. So it's very interesting. So you basically have an entire society, and then credit card debt surpassed $1 trillion easily.
No.
I think in 2008, when we had the housing crash, credit card debt got up to $800-something billion cumulative, and we're well over $1 trillion now, I believe. So people don't want to change their lifestyle. A lot of people, they still want their Starbucks. They still want to go on vacations.
Speaking about people who just like to blow money, thanks to everybody who bought the Caddy Daddy shirt, Caddy Daddy Classic. Really appreciate you. I was out of town for like a week. Went on a little cruise, nothing crazy. Aruba, Bahamas, come on, baby mama. Much needed cruise, and I spent way too much money. But thanks everybody who bought one. They are in the mail. I didn't want to announce it in case somebody tried to look me up and, rob me for everything I have. Anyways, just speaking of debt, people who like to blow money, I appreciate you guys.
A survey came out, said, it was months ago, said that, I forgot the percentage, but it was a very high percentage of Americans were taking out additional credit lines. They're taking out additional. They're running up extra credit cards or whatever they were doing to pay for their vacations to Florida or wherever. They just didn't want to give up their cruises. So we have an.
I just went on a cruise, and we are actually most of the people on the cruise were like 50 and up. One couple literally lives on cruise lines half the year. It's like, it's cheaper. It's like, what? You live on a cruise ship? Like, yeah, I swear to God. But I will say, everybody has a good time. But most people on this cruise ship, definitely older. There wasn't really any younger cats. I will say that. It was expensive. I was like, oh man, people are, they're partying. I mean, we had a good time. A little too much fun, honestly.
Entire society that has literally, we're at the brink where 2 out of 3 people in this country do not have any savings. They are paycheck to paycheck. They have absolutely no cash on hand. They are one disaster. They are one flat tire. They're one whatever from losing their apartment, being homeless. It just makes you wonder, like, how sustainable is this? So
it's not sustainable at all. There used to be a point in time where you could be a full-blown drug addict and still afford a place to live and hold a job down. That used to be real. And I don't mean to seem insensitive about, like, there's always been people just wasting their money and staying broke, which is true. I don't want to seem insensitive about that because I know a lot of people do try. But for the people who really try hard, it's... Now I just sound like a total asshole. I'm just saying it is that hard. It is that much harder. Like, you're not tripping. If you're watching this and you feel like, how come I can't get ahead? Everything's triple, dude. Except for your pockets. Yeah, you still only have 2 in the back. Not 7 pockets full of money.
And I would like to argue with anybody that says that, oh, the economy was amazing up until just a few months ago. Now it's all hell. I will promise you, the economy was not amazing, and nothing was good. Nothing was good. So people are broke. So that's the general theme here. People are broke and they're in massive debt. I'm also.
You know what else I just thought about? There was a point in time where there were pensions and a 401k did work and Social Security did work. So you could go bust every month, even if you were just paying towards your Social Security. And it's like, I got a pension with my job. So I could just remain flatlined all the way until retirement. And then I got a pension. I got my Social Security, got you a little bit of shit in the 401k. That used to be a thing. Like, you could literally stay not saving any money because you were saving money through a pension. Think about that for a second. But this is a long time ago, okay? That shit's been out the window. And anybody who has a pension now, good for you. No, seriously, I'm happy for you. I really am.
On top of my job, I'm also a realtor. So I do real estate on the side. I'm in the middle of a deal right now. And I think last year's about 70% of all real estate transactions in this country were done by people 50 and over, and that's your boomers. Those are the only people with equity. People under 50.
50? That's like Gen X.
Are strapped. They're broke. So where does this leave us? I don't know. Where does it leave us? It's interesting. I don't know where this goes forward. People are broke.
Yeah, I'll tell you where it's going. Aruba, Jamaica, boo, I want to take you. It's not good. It's probably just gonna get harder and harder and harder. That's why a lot of people just don't give a fuck. Like, I talk about it because I care, but at the same time, I'm just like, if I have to work forever until I'm dead, I guess that's the new shit. Eventually we'll just be numb to it. We're just slaves, no big deal. Let's see what the comments say. Stop blaming stimulus checks for inflation. It's the greedy billionaires. Yeah, I do think it's kind of on purpose. I mean, think about it. I don't even want to look it up. I guarantee you taxes were less 30 years ago, but money was worth more. That's a reason why they take more money, because the money's not worth anything, so now they got to take more of it. Make it make sense. It does for them. All right. Everything has doubled since 2020. Yeah, they're not tripping on that. Been working 45 hours at least a week in the last 4 years, and my savings has continuously dropped. Well, see, that's your problem. You need to double that. You need to be doing 90 hours a week. I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not. I'm not. Like, I'm not kidding. And I'm not happy about that. Like, I'm not going like, yeah, dude, just suck it up. No, if you want to get ahead nowadays, it's literally like you have to do something so bananas. And like, I know it might seem easy. I'm just on YouTube. But before I got here, first of all, I post like 8 to 10 videos a week, all long form. I basically just live on camera. All hail Google. Thank you. Right? I'm still on a hamster wheel. I'm not rich, making great money, but I'm not rich. But before this, I was bartending, waiting tables, selling shit on eBay, and doing this. Yeah. I'd get off work, and then I'd work for some more, and then I would go work for free, for free, until it became money. Every day, 8 days a week. Yeah. It's shitty. And I got lucky. Because I worked 2 jobs basically all my life. Not to be broke, though. That's the kicker. I didn't work 2 jobs to be broke or break even. No. Now people are working 2 jobs just to break even, which is fucked up. People are broke, but everywhere you go, it's packed. Baseball games, concerts. Yeah, people aren't going to stop living their lives, dude. Remember what I said earlier? Bermuda, Bahama, come on, baby mama. People still want to enjoy their lives, and I don't blame them. In all seriousness, we have lost the middle class. We have the upper middle class and the lower. They say the middle class is at 50%. Not so anymore. Yeah, there's no middle class. The markets are totally manipulated and dysfunctional. Yeah, it's all bullshit. Let me see. How are the concert and theme parks constantly sold out then? Dude, people aren't going to stop living their lives. I'm going to say it as long as I have to. I'm going to wind this down right here. I haven't had a raise in 12 years, and it was good money back then. Now I'm barely treading. 12 years? Here we go. All right, let's find one more good comment and we'll get out of here. Inflation is a hidden tax. Inflates your savings and your future labor. You cannot beat inflation because it's money. Because money is infinite and our labor is not. I'll leave this dude's information down below. But something that has held up the test of time, gold. It's kept up. Buy yourself some gold. If you use my link down below, I work with a company called Atlas Bullion. I buy from them every month. I just put $500 a month in there. They mail me a box full of doubloons. I'm like a modern day pirate. They come to my house every day, and I just throw money in there. Is it going to make me retire? Probably not. My point is that is one thing that has gone up at a realistic pace with inflation. You look this shit up on your own. And these t-shirts, I've gotten a lot of reviews, people who bought the caddy shirt. Once they put it on, within a week, their income doubled. One guy's penis actually got bigger. And that's all full of shit on that end. But the gold part, I was serious about. It's just harder than ever. It just really is. Think about real estate. If you bought real estate 20 years ago, forget it, dude. That shit is completely made up. Artificially high. So, good luck with that one. But at least with something like gold, we could still afford it. And, or maybe you can't. Anyways, hell of a talk. I'll leave this guy's information down below. You guys leave your thoughts. I know that you will.